I'm very glad that I managed to hear some amazing stories from my grandmother just before she died. And if we have time, maybe I can tell one story that kind of stayed with me for many, many years after, as I started to do more research and get interested in that. So she's from the Alter family. She came from a Hasidic family, from the Ger Hasidim, and her father was a rabbi, not the Rebbe, but he was a rabbi in the Hasidic movement, Mordche. My second name is Shachar Mordche. Again, I never really understood or paid attention to it until later. But then I knew that they all, from both sides, my mother and my father, that my grandparents came to Palestine in the 30s, and they lost families over there, but I never really understood exactly how they arrived and what was the context of that. And my grandmother told me that she was kind of rebellious. You know, she had a big family with 8 brothers and sisters. She said, I'm gingy, I have a gingy hair, I was a rebellious kid as a teenager. And she said that she read a poem, I don't know exactly who wrote this poem, about in Warsaw, in a newspaper, in Yiddish newspaper, about Tel Aviv, as beautiful as a white Tel Aviv, as beautiful as a bride, and she was so impressed by it, and she wanted to go and visit. And she went to her father and told him, listen, I want to go and visit Tel Aviv. I want to see Eretz Yisrael. And he said, no, you know, a Hasidic girl, you go there on your own, and no way. She said, I didn't give up, I insisted, and, you know, she went and did a sheile, like an official question to the Rebbe about that, and he was very, he was very diplomatic. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no, he didn't want to say something against the father, but he wrote back and he said, you know, it's a mitzvah, it's a commandment for every Jew, if they can, to visit, you know, the Holy Land once in their lifetime. So she took that as, okay, you know, so I have something from the Rebbe that I can go. And she went, and that was 38, and things escalated very quickly, and she stayed in Tel Aviv. She met my grandfather, and she lost her whole family there. So that was the story that I had that really stayed with me. And, you know, for many years now, as I'm kind of trying to think about the whole dynamics of Yiddish poetry and Yiddish literature and the relationship between Eastern Europe and yes, and then yeah, I wish I had more interactions like this with my grandparents when I was teenagers before they all passed away. And but yeah, that was kind of this amazing story that she told me at the very end of her life that stayed with me for many years.